Everybody, before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what's transpiring to start this trading day on this Wednesday morning. First, we've got Bitcoin, which retraced a little bit. We talked about it yesterday in the update, how we had to come down and see if we can catch support on the 20-day. I'll show you exactly what that means in the 4-hourly and see how we're looking in the daily time frame. We've got XRP that got up to around 57 cents, but since has reversed course back down to about the 5564. We've talked about how we have to go buy level 55 cents on the daily closes, which we've done the last 2 days. Now we need to close above 57 cents. Ultimately, that should help us push out to the 63 cent level. However, if we do reverse down and you first see us lose 55 cents, which is not even in jeopardy right now, and then ultimately lose the 536 or 538, we should say 536 on the overrun, that is where the first sign of a problem could happen, that we're starting to flip back bearishly. But as of right now, we're looking ultimately bullish. We're over the 55 cent mark. We're over the 538 pattern formation breakout on the bear flag, bull flag combo. Now to invalidate this dot cross, which I'll show you how in the daily, we have crossed back now, the 200 coming, or the 20 coming back through the 200. But I'll show you exactly what needs to happen for us to overall invalidate the structure. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Please make sure to hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics, and consider subscribing to the channel. And lastly, share this on social media, as that really does help push the analytics, and it forces YouTube to share this content and allow more of us to get together and have a mutually beneficial conversation. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Positivity over negativity. It truly is our greatest gift each and every day. Good morning, 10:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, October 26th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As we can see, Bitcoin's down 234 points. I'm not going to go any slower. I'm going to go pretty quickly on this morning update. We've got Bitcoin right now still holding on to that 34,000. As we talked about yesterday, we've got about 34,000 level. If we hold that, if we validate this hold of support, which we're trying to right now, which as you can see, we're overextending this now. As long as we can hold this 34,000 area, that should give us the support to have another move up to about 37,863. However, if you lose this and you reject upon this, that very well could pull you all the way back down to about 30K. So we need to watch very closely. As I stated when it was on the way up, there's nothing in between. So that broadening wedge is what it is. That's a broadening wedge formation. And the only reason we even hit this mid-tier support is that's the uptrending resistance from further in the pattern. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Make sure, though, if you're expecting this to go up, watch that 30,000 or 34,000 level like a hawk. If we lose 34,000, this could start to flip bearish. It still looks like a bull flag set up above the major resistance, but we still have to pay attention if it were to come down. We've had a golden cross in the daily. The weekly, we have now revalidated the golden cross. So that's where we're at right now. We had a dot cross here in the weekly after that massive breakdown. We've invalidated the dot cross in the weekly and the daily now. So that's something to be watched. We've got XRP right now. And the first one I want to look at is the bear flag, bull flag combination. And this is what we were looking at. We had a breakout attempt. And right now that's the weekly, which we have the golden cross. As we can see, it never was invalidated. It just converged. The daily, we've invalidated for the moment. The dot cross as the 20s come back through the 50. Now we're going to try to invalidate it completely by pushing back through the 100-day moving average so that it can be upside right. And then if it pushes up, that invalidation should bring us up to 63 cents. And it should measure. It should be a measured move up here. If it works its way to 63 cents, assuming we can hold the support we aforementioned, we would need to hold 55 cents first layer, and then if it breaks 55 cents, we would need to hold that 538 pattern formation. Not exactly sure why this is not loading, unless I clicked on the wrong pattern, which I probably did. No, I would say I did not. It just is not loading it. That's the 55 cents we talked about. It's holding that right now, and then if you lose that, you got the pattern formation at 536, we could say. But our goal right now is to not keep getting rejected by 57. And I know a lot of people are going to start out today saying, oh my God, Tom, it looks bearish. And some people are saying, I knew it was too good to be true now that Bitcoin started reversing. Guys and gals, let's keep our emotions in check here. This is an inverted hammer forming right now. That is very bullish on the daily for XRP. If that inverted candle stays over 55 cents, that inverted hammer, that's going to push us up to the next level. These are just buy level, like I've said, day by day. You want to do this buy level. You hit each support level. You get the liquidity possible to push up. Now we hit 55, confirm that as support. Came up and we rejected at 57 to reconfirm resistance in this area. And now we consolidate. And if we can get that next burst, which is what we're going to try to do, then we can continue to move up. Like I always say, there's key signs of if this is going awry. If we come back below 55 cents and reject her, that's a problem. The 4-hour time frame is going to be pretty much right there as well. The daily time frame, as we said, we're invalidating that death cross. Actually, we've invalidated the 20 through the 200. But now to completely invalidate this, we've got to make a formal push up and retake the 100-day and let this reshuffle. If that's the case, we should be coming up, like we've talked about, day after day after day on these formations. We should come up to, let's get to the other chart real quickly. It should bring us to the rising channel resistance up here from 2022, from June it started. This pattern should get you to about 63 cents. That's what I'm looking at here. And even easier to show that if you just put this formation, bull flag, bear flag, however you want to describe this. Once you break this, there's nothing in between. That's just a lot of mumbo jumbo there at 55, 57. Those are past resistance, pivot points we can call them. But if you just look at the main pattern, there's nothing between that 536 roughly, 534, depending on where you want to say now that's on the downtrending resistance, 534. There's nothing from 534 to 63 cents, theoretically, with the pattern formation, besides pivot points from prior in the pattern. But there's nothing that says we have to stop here. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please make sure to hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. Consider subscribing to the channel, as that is the #1 way for you to continue receiving updates on what I do. If you want to show further support, you can always send a YouTube super chat, or as I encourage, join Tom's Army. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, video description below and or pinned comments. You can trade XRP not just in the USA, which there's no VPN needed, and KYC is not necessary unless you're depositing through your bank account or credit card. So if you're sending from another exchange, you don't need to do a KYC as of yet. So take advantage of that before 2024 with FEMX. And then worldwide users, it's the lowest spot maker fee in the world with MEXC. And you can futures trade on both platforms as well as spot trade. Last but not least, let's close this out with XLM and DGB on the way out. XLM is on top of the 200-day. We're going to try to test this resistance. If we were to get an outright rejection at 12 cents, you technically could break down to 8.7. However, if this can continue working this, that's an inverted hammer candle today in the daily, which is a good sign. If this continues on this inverted hammer and doesn't dump down farther than about 11.3, we're in very good shape here. And then we should test this 12.1, and if it breaks up to the top side, you technically could be pushing out to 15.3. Otherwise, we're coming up there for a rejection. So let's pay attention to this very closely. And then DGB, and then I'm out, down 0.14%. It's come up to that downtrending resistance almost beautifully. We're still looking for a main rejection at 747. We basically come up there. But if we want to start reversing this pattern, we've had a bullish cross in the daily, and we've had a golden cross complete, and now we're trying to validate this push up for the next time frame in the daily. But what needs to happen is, first layer, we need to break this it's about 747 area. We can call first layer 7.4, but I want to see us on top of 747 and then start pushing out. Anything short of that, you could get a rejection up here and then start filling this pattern out, which could bring you back down to 612. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that like button and be kind to each other, because that's the greatest gift we can give each other, is kindness, friendship, and remember, positive reinforcement. You don't want to give negative reinforcement. And what I mean by that is, if somebody does something good, don't point out something bad within. When I was being raised, my dad, God bless him, he was a good dad, but at the same time, he did not know how to give positive reinforcement, and he still does it today. You want to give positive reinforcement. You don't want to negatize something that somebody did that's good. So never give negative reinforcement. That's the #1 way to kill a confidence. And maybe that could answer some questions why I am today. I was never given positive reinforcement as a kid, so I had to find ways to find the positivity. So from me to you, emotionless, stay positive over negative, and please take care of each other.